Hey guys, how's it going? Ghostly Rich here today, and today we're going to be taking apart this IdealPad 330-15. I think that says iChannel. Either way, this is my work laptop, and it's been super slow when it comes to boot ups because, well, it doesn't have an SSD in it. So I had a spare SSD laying around. I just cloned my drive. If you are wondering how to do that, I have videos on doing that. Just type in Ghostly Rich, how to clone a drive. And I show how to do it for free without using pirated software or anything like that. It is all legit software. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is literally go around every single spot on the bottom of this laptop. Remove every screw. Rather than you watch me remove every single screw, which is completely obvious, just take them all out. Once you get out all the screws, you're gonna come up here. You'll see right along the hinge, literally just start doing this. And you just start separating it right here. And that is how it separates, is just by grabbing along the edge and working it all the way around. Once you get one end started, it goes pretty smooth like. Boom. Look at all that. Good old laptops these days. So, when you're looking at all this, let's take a look here. First thing that we're going to want to do is technically we have our hard drive right here. Your standard cookie cutter looking hard drive. So if you're changing your hard drive, this is where you want to look into. Now, the RAM is the fun part here. I'm guessing they have the RAM under this case. But for the purposes of this video, the first thing I'm going to be doing is taking care of this hard drive, which I'm going to put the solid state in. So first things first, this screw, and then this screw right here by the fan, and this screw here by the fan, or this screw at the very edge of the case. And then I'm going to grab this and flip it up slightly. Now we want to be careful because you can see a ribbon cable attached right here. So we can see there is an SSID or a SATA port right here. We want to slip it off at the SATA port without, there we go, just like that. And then you'll see, look right here, there's a little black piece. You know, lift it off of there. There, our drive is free. So we want to reuse the clipping. So this is the stock hard drive. It is a 2 terabyte. I'm actually downgrading to a 512, but that's just because I had it spare, and I don't really need that much on my work laptop because I'm not storing that kind of documents, and if I do, it's on my cloud server. So we'll just do this. I just need something for faster boot up times because there's nothing worse than getting to a client's house and then you're like 5 minutes till boot and you're just waiting all the time for everything to load. I can't stand it. So, and again, you would have had to already clone your drive to your new one, so that way it's an exact clone of this drive. It is a very easy thing to do. So if you haven't watched the video, go ahead and watch it. I would put it in an annotation, but the problem is they don't do annotations anymore on YouTube. So as you can see, we've taken all the corner screws out here now. You will take your drive, notice the orientation. If I slip this off of this cable, because this is what I had to use, just one sec here, the orientation is like this. So now that I know that that's like that, we take our drive out of here. Since I know it's like this, again, that, like this. Now you can't mess it up. Screws line right up take those 4 same screws, which are the 4 little silvers, bolt in the new hard drive. After this, I'm gonna go searching for the RAM though, because that is the next thing that I'm definitely gonna wanna do. I'm pretty sure it's under this case right here, 99% sure. Because the RAM on this thing is only 8 gigs of 2400. And I think I'm gonna upgrade this to 8 gigabytes of RAM, so that way I have a little bit faster. But to tell you the truth, if you have to make a choice between RAM and solid state hard drive, do the solid state 100% first. When I show you how fast this is gonna boot after I'm done, you'll know that it's way better to be able to do this. All right. So after we've done that, since we know that the orientation is like this, try and touch a metal plate real quick, just in case you've gained any static from flipping stuff around, because the last thing you want to do is get a static charge build up. I like to grab a piece of metal before I do any of this. So again, being careful and mindful of our ribbon cable. We'll just grab it like this. And you can see you can't screw it up. It's just goes in like this. Make sure that is fully seated by lifting this. See how it's fully flush? That's how you know. Now, we lift it in, place it back down. Our ribbon cable has not disconnected, which is good. And let's screw our hard drive back in. Or as I should say, our new solid state. You'll also notice that your computer doesn't make as much noise when you're booting it up, because you don't hear the clicking of the needle of your hard drive, especially if your hard drive's dying. But this hard drive was only a couple months old. It was not old at all. Some people might tell you to disconnect the battery. You can do this if you'd like, especially if you're really worried about static. This little metal casing there. So this is your cooling for your RAM. Look at this. We do have, I want to make sure that there's a, so it's 4 gigabyte, 2 sticks of 4 gigabyte RAM, and it's 266 frequency. Now, one thing I do know is, for example, that when I was looking at the RAM on it, now look at that. We only have 4 gigabytes of RAM. I thought that this came with 2 sticks in it, maybe. So this only accepts 1 stick of RAM. Very nice to know. So it must have 4 gigabytes of onboard graphics memory and another 4 here. So if I were you guys, buy a single stick of 16 and throw it in here. That's what I would do. That'll give you a massive increase in power. That's crazy. All right. So that's what I would do if you're looking for RAM. So again, and then once you get your new RAM, how I popped it out, it just slips in. Make sure all the copper is hidden, and then you sink it down and it locks in. Take this case, let's say 0 seconds, and then slip it right in here. Pop your case back on. Let's put our screws in. So this is how fast it's going to boot for you. Oh yeah. Then you just press enter if you have a key, and then you're in. Literally 10 times the difference no matter what laptop you have.